All right.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, first and foremost, we have to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh,
YAHAWAH,
Yahawah,
Ba'ashem,
BAHASHAM,
Yahawashi,
YAHAWASHI,
Ba'ashem,
BAHASHAM,
Ba'ashem,
Ruka Kadash.
RUKHAKADASH.
We'd like to say the bold honors and respect to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and taught us His truth. We'd also like to say much love, peace, and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect, and 1/3. This is your brother Salah.
Brother Brock.
Brother, what's up?
All right, Shalom. And today's lesson, man, it is only the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai can save you from this coming destruction, right? All right, we're gonna feature this video by Dabu7 where it says finish them, man, because why these other nations are getting tired of you damn devils, right? The dollar about to collapse, right, and guess what? Your gold, your silver, that shit ain't gonna save you, man. Only the Lord, man. You could say you could say you have all the experience in your want. You could say you have the highest IQs, the best GPA, yeah, or whatever. Or I ain't gonna fall. I got this that job, or whatever. I got this that home. Or I got this that weapons, or whatever. Like none of that shit's gonna save you if your Howell Shim Yao Shai is not on your side, man. All right, we're going to open up with the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 44. And it says here, therefore be ye also ready, all right? For in such as an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Right. So it's not you getting your guns. You think you're really smart. You go to the gym, bench 500 plus pounds, or you got all the gold and silver and like none of that shit's gonna save you, man. If Yahweh Bashim Yao Shai is not with you, man. How are we gonna get ready? We gonna get spiritually ready, man. Getting that oil on our lamps, right? Keeping our garments, clean, white, man, pure, right? That's how we're gonna get ready for the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man, for His return, man. Staying prayed up, staying repentant, right? Fasting. Praying, man. Doing these lessons, right? Right, always staying on your guard, right? Because that's right. And when I say stay on your guard, you stay on your guard spiritually, man. That's how you get ready for the Lord's return, man. Taking heed to the prophecies, man, and not being fucking simple minded out there, thinking that it's gonna be the next another day. Well, and you don't even know that, man, because the Lord's gonna come when you think everything's gonna be okay, man. Do you have anything to add to that, brothers, or?
I
Yeah,
do.
I
I
got
do. I have a quick one.
All
I
right,
don't
go
know
ahead.
if you want to go first.
I was looking for a video, but I couldn't find it. But this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 19. It says, "They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is a stumbling block of their iniquity." Right? You have had people slave their lives away for, the U.S. Federal Reserve, right? This dollar, and all these investments, different investments they stacked up on, whether it's their 401k, right? Roth IRAs, gold, silver, all that's just gonna be useless, bro.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and 3, and I'm going to read this in the NLT. The vision is for a future time. It describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. All right. So, in our perception, and well, not for us particularly, but in a human mind perception, we don't perceive things the same way as the Lord does, and it could seem very slow. But things are speeding up, and they're coming to pass. They're things are gonna prophecies are coming to pass real soon. And the apostles and elders do say, Gabe, Barack, I don't know if you want to bring it out. How
Yeah, I got you. So this is the quote from There Are Weeks. So this is a quote from Vladimir Lenin. It says, "There are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen." Right. So that's why we have to measure the time diligently, because you know things can go down real quickly, And yes, certain prophecies have to come first, right? Before shit really goes bad, right? One of those things that has to that has to come before you see this mass destruction is that mark of the beast being implemented, right? And the mark of the beast being mandatory, right? But all these things are still going to pass, right? And I don't know if you brothers have anything, but I have a video I would like to play.
Hey, go ahead. I'll stream it, Bubba Kashaw, so they can see it on my end.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just stream this. Hopefully it lets me.
Oh wait, let's go.
Play
Let's get fair use. Let's get fair use first.
Yeah, so this is okay, I gotta sign in to confirm. Maybe you can play it on your video. Can you play it on yours?
Yeah. Send me the link. Right,
Yeah,
before
I
I do.
sent it. I sent it. I sent it.
All right, the water. It says here, disclaimer, copyright disclaimer to Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All right. So the first video
Insert screen.
yes sir. So the first video we're gonna play, right, is this video from is this the brother from the Hopeful Like 3 SATGU shit's about to hit, shit's about to get ugly, man. Alright, so we're gonna play this video right now. And you see the copyright disclaimer on this on the screen. You brothers can see this, right? Oh, so here, not yet. Alright, now you brothers can see it. Second Ezra 15 verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation.
Let me tell you something probably most of you don't know. When the system goes down and the grid fails, and there's no longer any power, no grocery stores, no running water, it's not going to matter your social status, how much money you have, where you're from, what hood you come from, how many guns you got. None of that's going to matter. Everybody's going to be fighting for food and resources to keep their families alive. It doesn't matter what you have, how much you've prepped. Everybody's going to be coming for what you have. Yeah, you might be able to fight off a lot of people, but you can't fight everybody forever. This is going to be a nightmarish hell on earth. This is going to be a nightmarish hell on earth. This is going to be a nightmarish hell on earth.
And we already know what that time is, man. Let's get this real quick. Jeremiah chapter 30, starting at verse 6. As ye know and see whether a man doth travail with child, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, a woman in travail, and all faces turned into paleness? Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he, meaning the elect, right, shall be saved out of it, man. So only the elect, man, the ones who the Lord YAHAWASHI is dealing with, man, not of your own works, or it's not of your own guns, your strength, money, resource, status, or whatever bullshit, man. Only the Lord YAHAWASHI is going to save you, man. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord YAHAWASHI, Sabaoth, of a host, meaning his armies, right? That I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and I will burst the bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him, right? So YAHAWASHI Shai, man, he's about to deliver us out of this hellhole real soon, man. And we're basically about to see the precipice or the catalyst of the start of the star of Jacob's trouble, man. Once this dollar is once this dollar officially dies, man, and that's where the Straits of Hormuz, man. With them wanting to trade, with them wanting to trade with the Chinese yuan or the renminbi, the Chinese currency, man. And so we're gonna play this video by Dabu7 again. We're gonna flash the copyright disclaimer again. You see it on the screen. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Right. All right. So we're gonna hop straight to the next video.
This is Dabu7. Some updates to the escalation here on the war front between Iran and the West, as Trump is basically saying, go in and finish them. He makes these comments on social media, kind of raising the question that if we go in and finish them off, will the allies then step up and do something and take control of the strait that they use? Because allies have failed to come to the rescue and back Trump in this situation. It's made him look like he doesn't know what he's doing in this whole war situation, although the U.S. is still pounding the leadership. The issue here is everyone's saying there's no off-ramp, there's no plan here to bring this to an end or to resolve the situation, and there wasn't from Jump Street. The Trump administration admitting that the U.S. off-ramp is going to be different than Israel's, and that maybe by the time the U.S. says they're done with it, Israel's still going to be making moves. The blowback is going to be severe here in this country when it happens. We have just killed another high-ranking official in Iran. They're saying it's the third high-level hit to happen, and this elimination has got them super pissed off, so to speak. They're vowing revenge against everyone. Iran vowing worldwide vengeance to avenge the deaths of Khomeini, Larijani, and everyone that's been killed. They said that they will hit everyone, regardless of their wealth or anything like that. Russia is evacuating hundreds of specialists from Iran's nuclear complex, the Bushehr, because it's been hit. And of course, one of the big stories today, Iran's oil production facility, South Pars, has been struck. It's been the first time in all this that it's been hit like this. And Trump is basically saying, go in, finish them off. It's like his only option. You either back out, which he says they're not doing. He's afraid it will make us look weak, or we finish the job. So we have some intense activity coming here within the next couple days, I feel, especially over this weekend. So join me for the live stream where I've got time to break this down even further. Going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Dabu77. Much love.
So yeah, man. So pretty much, man. If Caesar Nero 47 DJT makes these moves and try to attack Iran in the Straits of Hormuz, man, that could be very bad news for the U.S. right? That's gonna mean they're gonna say, you know what, fuck you, America. They're gonna drop the dollar, right? The price of oil and gas is gonna skyrocket, man, and it's gonna make life hard, not just for America, but for everyone that uses the petrodollar system, right? The world reserve currency that is being officially challenged right now, right? And basically once that goes under, man, that's when you really we'll start to see shit pop off, man. That's when people are gonna be fighting over resources, food, water.
Especially these so-called women, once this society collapses, right? So like this so-called black woman, right, Eve, right? Because Esau's society benefits her with all these different benefits, right? Food stamps, right? You have different types of money, like from different baby daddies, right? Different incomes, all that shit. Once all that shit goes out the window, bro, it's gonna be over, and you're gonna see a lot of the spirit on these people, right? When the dollar completely fucking collapses, right? That grid goes off. They're gonna start messaging you, right? And the brothers like Amon Gavar, he made a video about this recently. And you know when they message you, man, we're not gonna fucking reply. We're gonna be nowhere to be found, man. Right? Because
I
what
got
is
a
it?
precept.
Yeah, go ahead,
Salakia.
go ahead.
You said everything you were to say?
I was gonna say something.
Yeah.
This is the book of Ezekiel,
That's the
30,
spirit, bro. That's the spirit.
yeah, 32 and 6. It says, "I will make your tongue stick to the roof of your mouth, or make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb and shalt not be them to reprover, for they are a rebellious house." And if I try to talk with the tongue to the roof of my mouth, I can't say anything. You know what I'm saying? Uh, we're gonna basically, we're not gonna say crap to you people, bro. You know,
That's going into the famine of the word. You know, there's going to be a time where we're not going to be able to preach and push out lessons like we are now. So this is your time to come and eat and to basically fill up oil in your lamp. You know, and this is Ezekiel 33 and 3 in the NLT. But when all these terrible things happen to them, as they certainly will, then they will know a prophet has been among them. So these people are going to call and they're going to say, "You were right. You were fucking right. Help me." And at that point, you're not gonna say shit to them. You're gonna hang up the phone. You're gonna see the message. Gonna turn the phone down because we already told you people. I mean, we going into Titus 3 and 10. Warn a person once, twice, and after the third admonition, reject. I mean, we've extended our hand, man. We've tried to help
we
you
went beyond that point for a lot of these people,
beyond that point,
and
man. And we
at the end
learned
of
the
the
hard
day,
way.
you keep doing that. It's like you're going against the scriptures at that point, and you're going against what you say. So no, we're not gonna help you people after the first second time we warn you. That's it, bro. Right? And ultimately, it's you're rejecting a warning from the Lord. Um, and the Lord has an actual reward for you people, right? And it's not a good reward, right? So this is the book of Proverbs, 26 and 10. It says, "The YAHAWASHI that formed all things, both rewarded the fool and rewarded transgressors. The reward is death for the wicked," right? So depending on what you're doing, man, he's gonna give you a reward, and it's not gonna be a good thing. You don't want to hearken onto these scriptures, man. You can get destroyed, right? This is a book of I have another let me see. You have something you want to say? Because I was gonna mention something. Um,
Y- yeah. I have something right. This is the book of Proverbs,
yeah,
chapter 1. We'll start at verse 24, right? It says here, "Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regard." Right, right. So we tried warning you people. We tried helping you out. We even tried speaking to some of you one on one, right? But what'd you do? You fanned the hand. You mocked. You scoffed. You scorn the prophecies. The prophets. So what's going to happen, right? But yeah, said not all my counsel, right? And that's the counsel of Yahweh Shimei Shai, and with none of my reproof, right? You people can't you people can't take reproof, man. You can't you can't take admonition, right? Or you people can't be admonished, right? Right? So, right. So what's the Lord gonna do, right? Verse 26, "I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as a desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, and shall not find me," right? So when you try to call us, man, when you try to contact us after we told you done many times that, hey, you shouldn't take the mark. Hey, you see everything that's going around you. You should probably listen. To what I'm trying to tell you, man. Man, to what Yahweh Shim Shai's words trying to tell you, man. Man, and you say you know better, or you say you have experience or whatever, or you say you have a high IQ. You got all these degrees. You have all this money and shit. Like that ain't none of that shit gonna fucking save you, man.
yeah,
You
yeah, and you people, you're so focused on money. Well, we actually have the real money, and the real money is the Lord's economy, which is which is through the word, and which is faith, right? You know what I'm saying? This we're actually circulating the Lord's economy as we're as we're doing these lessons, right, and going on the highways and byways, right, and teaching.
This word is going out like the wind, and me and the brother, we have, a testimony. I don't know if you want to share that now or we could save it for another lesson.
I have a video on that already.
Okay.
But basically, yeah, and just adding on, for you brothers out there that you think you're not reaching anybody when you're doing these lessons, or somebody could take a picture of you, and then months later down the line, they'll record a part of your camp when you're talking about the microchip, or they hear that specific part, and then when that chip comes out, they're gonna be like, oh, those guys told me not to take it, you know. So just things like that, man. The Lord can put on a certain spirit to be profitable during that that time period, right?
Hour of temptation.
That's really, and just going into the main point of this lesson, that's what's really profitable at the end at the end. Not your fucking money, right? Not your fucking physique, not your all your accolades, or how much you can bench press, or how many subscribers you have. None of that's just gonna save you, man. And you know what I'm saying? You have all these people, they think that they have all this farmland. I saw one Jake, he got like 36 acres of farmland, and he's saying how he made it. These people, they think that that's gonna save them, when really you need the Lord, YAHAWASHI. You cannot do this by yourself, right? And I have something, if you guys, unless you guys got something you want to say.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, go ahead, Al.
Yeah, so this is the book of Proverbs. I'm gonna just pull this out. 26 and 16. Let's see, and it says let's look at the New Living Translation. It says lazy people consider themselves smarter than 7 wise counselors, right? So you have a lot of people, they think they can just be so-called individual Israelites, right? And they think they can do this all on their own, right?
And yeah, I got
They
a
don't need a
precept for that.
counselor. Yeah, Khan, go ahead.
This is going into what the brother Barak just said about the counseling. This is Jeremiah 17 and 9 through 10 of the GNC. Who can understand the human heart? There is nothing else so deceitful. It is too sick to be healed. All right. So that right there goes to show you um, that the human heart, heart going into the mind, la'ab, is very deceitful. It wants to do its own thing. The flesh wants to follow its own lust, opinions, what feels good and pleasurable. And a lot of you people, man, you get in this mindset where you just want that feel good message. You don't want what's going to cut you up. And this truth, the thing with this truth is it's sweet first, but then it becomes bitter, because that's what allows you to change, man. This is not happy go lucky, man. This is serious. This is raw unedited truth. So you can't follow after your mind, man. You got to ultimately be, taking heed to order and following what the Lord wants you to do.
Yeah, Khan, and these people, they think what? They think that they're that they think in this mindset of, well, I have this many cans of food, I have this much water, I have this much money saved in my accounts, this will last me, X, Y, and Z amount of days, right, for this many people. Right, this is the book of Proverbs 3, chapter 3, and verse 5. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Right? So we cannot trust in these other things, man. Especially this federal reserve dollar. It's completely going to crap, bro. And all these different countries, you're starting to see them basically just completely disregard it. You know what I'm saying?
Throwing it down the drain, man. It ain't worth shit. A fucking
Yeah.
damn thing.
I have a couple of precepts, to add on to that, right? In regards to the money, right? It says here, this is the book of James, chapter 5, verse 3. It says here, your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, right? It's speaking against you Edomites, but right, mostly, but also to you Jakes, man, that rely on on Esau's money system, right? Woe unto you that they're going down to Egypt for help, man. Roughly paraphrasing, and and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heap treasure together for the last days, man. And yeah, man. Man, you wicked elites, man. You Rothschilds, Rockefellers, man, and you other elite banking members, man. That gold, that silver, all that treasure you have hidden away, saved up in a bunker somewhere or in a cave, or whatever vault, man. All that saved up. All that is saved up for the elect of YAHAWASHI, Yahawashi, man. Man, while the rest of you go into slavery, man, and for you Jakes, man, that that don't want to take heed, man, that don't want to take counsel to YAHAWASHI, Yahawashi, that want to follow all these other doctrines, or that thing you could do it your damn selves, man. This is what it says, right? Woe to the rebellious children, right? Speaking to you Jakes, man, you Israelites, right? Saith the Lord YAHAWASHI, Yahawashi, that take heed, Saslaki, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin unto sin, right? And that's iniquity, right? That verse 2, that walk to go down into Egypt, right? You relying on Egypt, you relying on their money system. You think this place is gonna go on forever. You think about that 401k, man. You think about that retirement plan that you worked all those years to save up, man. They ain't gonna be shit, man, when that nuclear bomb hits, right? And that inside joke, that was a reference to Yusha 7 if you saw his video. But anyways, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and trust in the shadow of Egypt, man. So you Jakes basically trust in oppression, man. Rather than YAHAWASHI Yahawashi. Why? Although Pharaoh is in fact beating your ass, making it hard for you to live, right? He gives you a little bit of something, and you think, oh, that's mercy, man. All Pharaoh's right. When really that's YAHAWASHI Yahawashi showing you mercy, nigga.
And that's why what on the dollar bill, right? Which the dollar represents what, Egypt and Babylon, right? And you see it says in God we trust, right? Which what this is Esau's God, right? They trust in Satan, they trust in they and you see they basically trust in Esau, right? And you see Jake out here, they're worshiping this dollar bill, right? They're basically they'll kill people for this, steal, break the law, right? Break the laws, statute, commandments, right? Just for this fucking piece of shit dollar bill. And that's why you see, just all this how do you say it, you see these pyramids on the dollar bill as well, because what, it's like because America is basically the reincarnation of Egypt, right? And the same thing is happening today. Jake out here, he goes to the you have Eve out here, she's going to Esau for help, right? You have people, they'll do anything for a dollar. You know what I'm saying?
And when you and Ak, when really, man, when Jake should be seeking YAHAWASHI Yahawashi, man, rather than what than trusting in Egypt, which you can clearly see right here is fading away faster than your mind can process, man.
You're trusting in the oppressor, right? And that's also why you have the pyramids here, because the pyramids were actually built off of slave labor, right? And the same thing they put on the dollar bill. You're basically trusting in this fucking devil. His system, everything he gave, and he'll dangle that in front of you. Put it like it's like almost like they have like a carrot on the stick.
Yeah.
When you start giving people enough money, they'll do the most wicked things. Dude, people, you give dude $100,000, he'll start getting his, he'll start getting sodomized, right? He'll start killing people, right?
He'll sacrifice his own children, man. Make his children pass through the fire, man. And that ain't nothing new, man. They've been doing this shit since ancient times, man. Yeah, that's why the scripture says, "Fall follow not after the way of the heathen, man, choosing none of their ways, man. Because why? That shit leads unto sin, man, iniquity, death, man.
This is 1 Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So there have been people that have fell out because of money, because they wanted to go and get a job with a bigger promotion where they could make more money, and they got distracted from doing the Lord's work, and they got enticed by getting an extra couple of dollars on a fucking paycheck. Like that's gonna matter right now.
Which it's not gonna even. It's the same thing because with inflation, even if you get a raise, you're basically in the same pay regardless. Relative to all the prices of everything else, right? You have people saying, I gotta stop doing videos for a while. I gotta take a break because I got a new job, right?
Got a new
You
wife,
you basically took
a
the Judas
job.
bag. You know what I'm saying?
And you basically fell into that weak ass spirit, man. And if you do, man, get the fuck. Either you figure it out or get the fuck away from us.
So
Right?
we don't want that weak spirit around us, man. We can't. We're not in the time right now where we're gonna just talk to you and have words with you, man. And you moving in some weak ass fucking spirit, and you're not getting it. That's it, man.
The answer is right here, man. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 6, man. And this goes out, to you, Jakes, man, that may be watching and learning, man. It says here, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near, right? And he's still near. He's still very near, man. And, the gates of mercy are still open. They haven't fully closed yet, man. So, so now is the time to get right, Jake, right? Right, verse 7, let the wicked man, speaking to you Israelites, forsake his way, and the unrighteous man and his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord YAHAWASHI, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our God Yahweh, for he will abundantly pardon, man. So if you truly out there, you're sorrowful for all the things you've done, man. You're like, you know what? That's a demon on me. That wants me to focus more on this promotion, or focus more on my women, or be concerned about this, that, and the third, man. Rather than what you doing the work. You helping feeding the flock, your brothers, man. And that's what the Lord is looking for, man. You cleaning your ways for the Lord versus rather than you trimming your ways for the damn world, these heathens, man. And man, because ultimately, man, the elect, they're gonna do what they need to do, man, in order for them to get delivered, man. While everyone else, man, they're gonna find all sorts of excuses for to justify their wickedness, man. And that's what's gonna get you destroyed. All right. Right, so Jake, man, and well,
Right?
I was gonna say the choice is yours, but really, man, it's up to the Lord, the Al-Bashim, whether or not he wants to reveal the light unto you.
You gotta just pray that the Lord have mercy on you.
Yeah, because none of us know if we're gonna be saved, but you know what, man, that's why we gotta be diligent, man. That the brothers always bring this out, roughly paraphrasing, diligence to make your calling and election sure. And let me get that so I don't butcher it.
2 Peter 1:10.
The water, brother. Wherefore, rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, ye shall never fail, man. So, so if you're doing everything that you need to do, man, to be pleasing in the sight of Yahweh Bashim Shai, man, praying, fasting, repenting, man, studying, making lessons, man, just being keeping your due diligence, man. And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai, man, he's gonna help you, man, during the time of trouble, which is very near. So.
I got one more, bro. That's cool.
All right, go ahead. We'll end it off there.
1 Corinthians 15:58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. So if you're steadfast, if you're unmovable, you're not being swayed away, you're firm, and you're always abounding in the work diligently, then you're not gonna fail, man. Everything you do is not gonna be done in vain. It's gonna be known for generations to come. and ultimately you're doing the Lord's will, and He's very pleased with that. So just keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing if you're out there pushing His word in truth and sincerity, because it's gonna reap bountiful. You're gonna get a bountiful harvest.
That's right, man. That's why you always gotta trust and pray. Always have your trust into the Lord, man, and pray that you be part of the elect, man. So with that, we're gonna end off the lesson right there. Unless there's anything else you want to add.
That's all I got.
All right, Khan. So with that, hope this lesson's been exhorting and edifying you, sincere Akim and Akwath. And with that, we like to say, Call Halayim La, Abanawa, Yahawah,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Yahweh
Yahawashi, Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Rukakadash.
Rakakadash.
Yahweh.
Double honors and respect to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us His truth. We'd also like to say much love, peace, and salutations to the Lord's elect, the hopeful elect in the 1/3, His brother Salah.
Brother Barada.
And with that, we'd like to say, Shalom.
Shalom.